This is TWiT.
Google Home Mini is a donut. I'm going to call it a donut size, especially if you get the coral, because it sure looks tasty. Basically, Amazon Echo Dot clone.
Yep.
It's the Google Assistant. It has, though, unlike the Dot, they said, a good speaker, a 360-degree speaker. It will also connect via Bluetooth. It doesn't sound like it has an auxiliary jack, but via Bluetooth to a Bluetooth speaker, so you can get bigger speakers coming out of it. Google now has a party mode, and they have another speaker, which we'll talk about in a second. So Google is really going after not merely the Amazon Echo market, but the Apple HomePod market and the Sonos market. Sonos had a big announcement this morning saying they were going to introduce a smart speaker, much like these smart speakers that Apple and Google are announcing, that has Amazon Echo support. Google will have the Google Assistant support. But it will tie into a much larger ecosystem. They pointed out how if you have Chromecast on your TVs, the TV is now a display for Google Assistant. If you have these speakers, you could have a party mode, you could have separate mode. It looked like a very sophisticated tool, and they emphasized how each user has his or her own account. It's context sensitive, and it works with kids.
Yep. They have a little kid mode that you can set up now for your kids. It's supposed to be used for your kids under 13 years of age, help them engage the Google Assistant. They can play games with it. They can ask it for homework help if they need.
And it integrates into all your other Google devices, including, and most importantly, the Nest devices.
Yes, which is another ecosystem that Google really wants to sell us on, kind of like get that security in our house in addition to all these other devices.
But as you can see here, they don't deprecate a third parties. SmartThings is included. No. As is Honeywell and Hue Lights and Wemo.
Belkin, Wemo, yep. TP-Link.
If this, then that. So this is a full ecosystem, which I think is smart of Google. It's a little bit more open, perhaps, than Apple will be with its HomePod. We'll see. Apple's, didn't talk about it in their most recent event. It won't be out till December, but then neither will the
Google Home Max.
The Max.
Which is pretty big, it looked like, in the little video that they were showing us.
Yeah, it was hard to tell. Let me get a picture of it from the store.
It looks like it's supposed to sit in your living room. You can make it vertical and kind of put, I'm assuming, one on either side.
I think they're look at this picture. They're intentionally making it look bigger than I think maybe it is.
Are you posturing a bit?
Yeah. It's got 4 speakers, two tweeters, and they call them woofers, 4.5-inch woofers, but that really would be a little small for a woofer. In an enclosure, very much like the Sonos Play 5. See, that's more, there you go. There you get a better idea of the size of it. It's not quite as big as a Play 5. It's maybe a little bit smaller. But they're emphasizing, as Apple has with its Home Hub, I'm sorry, HomePod, this ability to tune for your space. So it'll equalize, give you full audio no matter where you put it. One of the things Apple will do, though, is if you get 2 of them, it'll make them stereo. They didn't really talk about that as far as I can remember.
Well, you can hook up the Google Homes now.
Yeah.
And do multi-room.
Will they be stereo?
So
Left-right stereo?
I'm assuming they might do that over Wi-Fi.
That seems like something you ought to do. They should be able to do. They do have a party mode, so if you have multiple speakers from Google,
it's very fun when you have multiple speakers in a 2-story house, by the way, because it's a party upstairs and downstairs.
Yeah. And party mode was hard to do. I mean, that was really Sonos' secret sauce for years.
Yeah.
Seems like everybody can do it. Chrome Audio added it not so like 6 months ago. So we know Google can do it. The idea here, though, is it is a speaker with Google Assistant built in. It supports not just YouTube Music and Google Music, but Pandora, Spotify. It's a more broadly ranged option, it seems to me, than Apple's will be. Wemo, TP-Link, all the smart home stuff, entertainment from Netflix, YouTube, CBS. Tasks from
Domino's is the first task, by the way. You can order Domino's through Google Home.
Not a selling point for me. Headspace, though, I love. In fact, use Headspace on my Google Home right now. It's really neat to meditate with your Google Home and let it direct you. So it'll work with Chromecast and Chrome-ready, cast-ready TVs as well from Vizio.
Vizio TVs, have the Chromecast built in, which is awesome. Ron has one of those, Ron Richards.
As you look at this and this product line, you really see that Google is saying we're gonna own the home, and we're gonna do it with a broad ecosystem of things. As Nest, of course, has security, has lights, has cameras, has thermostat, has a doorbell now. So Nest announced a bunch of products.
Coming out in November, so next month. It's around $500, almost $600 for the whole security kit that you can buy. Comes with like a couple things. With the, I believe the doorbell is coming a little later, actually.
Yeah.
So I believe that's coming in the first quarter of next year.